Okay. Flip it. I wasn't gonna do no Nuance November, but since this month wants to have hands, so will I. Let's get into it.
We interrupt your daily programming. For this mess, please stand by for doodles.
Hello pretty kitties, how are you? I am Kitty, I do the doodle if you're new. It's been a minute, but I have to rant because this month has been kicking my buttocks with the fluffy putt. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know if it's been the moon or if it's just been me or the world just hates me. Honestly, I feel like that's all the time, but nonetheless, no Nuance November. If you never heard of it, it's kind of a new thing that popped up over on TikTok. A lot of people have been doing it where they basically give their hot takes and give no other context behind it, just hot takes and spicy, feral anger, and a good way to vent at the same time. Make a good point most of the time. A lot of people, especially people who are trying to actually make a difference in the world and actually give hot takes about stuff that people should have more common sense about. Personally, I feel like, yeah, I agree with those people who make these hot takes, and I have a few of my own, so let's go on and get into it. A couple of my first hot takes, I actually wrote it down for once. I actually wrote down a script. Style theft is an actual art theft. Now, normally with Nuance November, you don't give context, but I want to give context because I'm in a bit of a ranty mood. So, when it comes to art theft, to me, the way I think of it is that just because you study a type of art style and you use a type of expression to your work or use a type of line weight to work, especially with digital artwork, there is no way to steal someone's style unless you're tracing line for line over top of their art, obviously. But there is no such thing of actual art style theft. You cannot own a pose, you cannot own a type of drawing, you cannot own a type of character you draw or anything like that in this sort. There is no such thing as style theft. That's just how I feel about it. If you have different opinions, feel free to talk about it in the comments. Another Nuance November hot take I have is time and money aren't the same thing, and you can have more of the other or less of the other, but depending on how you wish to value your life is how much you end up going to have. So honestly, if you're somebody who really wants to have family moments or have time to enjoy your passions, you're most likely not gonna have a lot of money. And that's just coming from somebody who's middle class. I'm probably on the lower end of the middle class, honestly. And I feel like I never have time to even like do videos like this, just ranting about how I feel about certain things. It's exhausting, and not having enough money to pay bills and just live my life is so overwhelming at times that I feel like I'm gonna lose my mind. Part of the reason that a lot of stuff has been going on with me and I haven't been able to be as active online because there's so much going on in the world, and I feel like the more time I spend taking in everything that's been going wrong in my life and taking in all the things that have been just overwhelmingly exhausting, it's just eating more up time of like eating, like how long I'm taking about this Nuance November take. It's just taking so much effort. But will I ever see a dime of it because I made a video about it? Nah, probably not. Will anyone really watch this? Maybe a couple of people, and I appreciate you. But again, it took so much of me to get out and just to even turn on the mic to actually use my own voice, not just a voice generator bot, to speak on how I feel. It's exhausting. And I feel like this ties into it being on the spectrum and having these issues. I feel like I'm using it as an excuse, but then I also have to think, oh, I'm not using an excuse. So just kind of segueing into my next Nuance November hot take. Just because you're autistic or neurodivergent doesn't excuse you from being homophobic, bigoted, or doing anything horrible to somebody. If you rely on using your disability or your limitation or whatever you want to refer to it as when it comes to interacting with other people or how you treat other people, that's an excuse. That makes you a bad person. You need to do better. My hot take. And I feel like a lot of people have that same sentiment. As somebody who's definitely on the spectrum, as somebody who has been othered, as somebody who has been told that something isn't clicking with you, that you aren't like other people, I don't feel like it excused me or anyone from having bigoted ideas to where you have to be homophobic or racist to somebody, or just generally judge someone because of something they cannot control. And it makes you just as bad as anyone else who would do that, even if they're not on the spectrum. Just saying. Yes, having autism and being neurodivergent, or being a little weird, however you want to refer to it as, it will have awkward situations. It's okay to be awkward. It's okay to have bad days and react. But if you do that time and time after again, even when someone has addressed it with you, like, hey, what you did there made me uncomfortable, made me feel less than what I should be, and you don't change that course of action, that makes you a bad person, no matter what your spectrum is. Say you keep saying something that makes someone uncomfortable, or you keep pointing out something about someone because it's different each day and it makes them uncomfortable, and they voice that, it kind of makes you the crappy person at the end of the day, whether you realize it or not. And if you keep bringing up these things, you keep doing something, for example, I'm very particular about how things are supposed to appear when I have my online spaces. So if I have particular rule sets and I set those boundaries, like, hey, please don't post something right here, can you post it over here? Sure, do that. But if you keep not listening to me and I keep voicing hey, can you please put it over here, and you keep just doing it the other way, it's gonna make me upset, and it's gonna make you feel like you don't care about me and you don't want to respect my boundaries or anything like that. I use that as an example because I feel like I'm very stickler when it comes to how stuff gets posted in my Discord in particular. As an example, I am very stickler about it because it makes it more organized for me. And because I've had issues in the past of dealing with people online and coming into my spaces and making me feel uncomfortable, I have to have it set up a certain way that makes sense to me. I apologize to I've apologize a lot to my community when it does happen, and I tell people that do this, if they post in the wrong channel, it bothers me and I immediately delete it or I remove it. I try to explain why I delete it, but I feel like at a certain point I'm over explaining myself and I just put it in my rules. And I feel like if you're going to come into my space and respect me as a person, and I say what my boundaries are, then you should respect that, right? I feel like that's just a normal thing that most people should do. I don't know. Maybe it's just a hot take. Nonetheless, moving on. Next, Nuance November. Having a family member or a friend that is in a marginalized group does not always automatically make you an ally. Just right there. I laid it out. Just because you live every day with this person, just because you're able to see this person every day in their space, or you are sometimes welcome into their spaces, it does not automatically make you ally. What makes you an ally is how you decide to be a friend to this person, be a family member to this person, and how you wish to not necessarily always just protect, but also respect that they are a part of that marginalized group, and give them the sense that they are safe with you. That's what makes you a good ally to me, personally. Another one for marginalized groups, just because you are in and a part of a marginalized group doesn't make you an ally to other marginalized groups. Just as an example, I am of mixed race, but I am very light skinned, obviously. But I still am a black person, and I have grown up in and around the black community. Will I always be seen as a black ally? No. Even though I am literally, by blood, a black person, I would not always be seen as an ally in certain marginalized groups. And I accept that, and I understand that, and I do my best to show my friends who are black and who are black presenting, I am an ally to them when it matters, especially when it matters. And I try my hardest to do that every day, and no matter how much I say that or come online to say that or tell that to people, doesn't mean I'm going to be an ally in their eyes. And that's fine. And a lot of people get really offended or really hurt when someone tells them that they don't see them as an ally because they're not part of that marginalized group, or even if they are part of another type of marginalized group. I'm also openly gay or homo. I'm bisexual. I consider myself a part of the LGBTQ community. Because I'm part of that community, some people in the black community aren't going to see me as an ally to black people because of their beliefs, or just because I am gay doesn't mean that I am going to be an ally to somebody who isn't like the type of gay person I am. And no matter how hard you try and show people that, your actions speak louder than words. So even if you do everything right by this person or by that group, it doesn't always mean that everyone is going to see you as an ally. And it's something a lot of people it's a hard pill to swallow, but you gotta do it. My last No Nuance November hot take is respecting someone's religious belief, but discrediting your own in the same breath does not mean you're respecting someone's beliefs. Trying to give context even though I don't really need to. For me, to respect someone's beliefs, it means that you recognize that they have beliefs and you try to see it with open eyes and understanding for the most part. And if you don't completely agree with their beliefs, you can let them know that without disrespecting them or discrediting your own. Personally, I would never categorize myself as someone who's particularly religious. I do believe in certain gods, I do believe in certain sciences, but I will never force my beliefs onto somebody who doesn't believe that. If they wish to discuss it and they have shown interest, I will gladly discuss it. But me personally, I don't like having conflict with anybody, so if they want to debate my beliefs, I don't feel comfortable doing that, so I let them know that. But I always end up in these conversations with people where, because I don't want to debate religion with somebody, I'm disrespecting them. And I feel like that's not fair. I'm somebody who avoids conflicts even when it's not on the basis of religion or how you present yourself or what you believe in. That's just because I have personal trauma, and it's hard for me to even stand up for myself when it matters. And I feel like that is very disrespectful, especially coming from a friend. If they do that to me, it hurts a lot. So yeah, these have been my No Nuance November hot takes. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any No Nuance November hot takes you would like to put down in the comments or let me know, or you want to try to call me out on one of mine and I had to maybe think about it a little bit more, let's do it. I'm down for it. I'm feeling spicy. No, I'm not that spicy. I'm a small bean. Please don't hurt me. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm Kitty Doodle, and stay pretty, kitties. Bye bye. I'm gonna have to edit this down a whole lot. Oh god. Someone help me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed it. Got a couple of shout outs to some awesome beans out there. Shout out to Lady Rainicorn, Spooky Chris, Sam, Yin, and Noodle Doodle especially. You guys rock so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you again for all the support you guys show me. I'll do my best to get better at these shout out videos. I know I probably should just add them to every video I post because I only post so much. I'm trying. I love you guys though, and I appreciate your patience with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you later. Stay pretty, kitties.